What if we could envision a world where no one goes to bed hungry, where every child has access to quality education, and where prosperity isn't confined to a privileged few but shared by all? What if I told you that this vision of universal abundance isn't just a dream, it's a possibility within our reach? Today, humanity stands at a crossroads. On one hand, we face immense challenges. Poverty affects nearly half the global population, inequality deepens daily, environmental degradation threatens ecosystems worldwide, and systemic corruption undermines trust in institutions. The systems governing our world are flawed, often prioritizing profit over people and exploiting resources unsustainably. These issues seem overwhelming, even insurmountable, but they don't have to be. Through imagination, innovation, and collective action, we can design a better future, a world where technology, ethics, and collaboration converge to eliminate poverty once and for all. We already possess the tools, knowledge, and potential to create such a reality. What we need now is the willpower to make it happen. In this video, we'll explore how humanity can transition from today's chaotic systems to an ideal society where universal prosperity becomes a reality. From reimagining economic structures and reforming education to harnessing renewable energy and fostering global cooperation, we'll dive deep into practical solutions and visionary ideas. Together, let's imagine a brighter tomorrow, one where every person has the opportunity to thrive, regardless of their circumstances. So, are you ready to envision a world without poverty? Let's begin this journey toward crafting a paradise, not as a distant utopia, but as a tangible future within our grasp. The roots of poverty run deep, intertwined with systemic issues that perpetuate inequality and hinder progress. Here are some key drivers. Economic inequality. Wealth concentration in the hands of a few creates resource scarcity for the majority. Corporate monopolies dominate markets, leaving small businesses struggling to compete or thrive. This imbalance not only stifles local economies but also concentrates power among those who prioritize profit over people. Corruption. Governments worldwide are plagued by corruption, diverting funds meant for public welfare into private pockets. According to Transparency International, billions of dollars are lost annually due to bribery and embezzlement, resources desperately needed to address pressing social issues like healthcare, education, and infrastructure development. Environmental destruction. Climate change exacerbates poverty by destroying livelihoods, displacing communities, and reducing agricultural productivity. Poor populations bear the brunt of these impacts despite contributing the least to the crisis. Droughts, floods, and extreme weather events disproportionately affect vulnerable communities, further entrenching cycles of deprivation. Unfair trade practices. Global trade agreements often favor developed nations over developing ones, perpetuating cycles of dependency and exploitation. These imbalances leave poorer countries at a disadvantage, unable to fully harness their resources for sustainable growth. Flawed education systems. Current education systems focus on producing workers rather than fostering critical thinkers, innovators, and leaders. They neglect emotional intelligence, creativity, and ethical reasoning, qualities crucial for addressing complex global challenges. As a result, generations grow up ill-equipped to solve the very problems they inherit. The consequences of poverty extend far beyond financial hardship. It robs people of dignity, limits opportunities, and perpetuates cycles of deprivation. Children growing up in poverty face barriers to education, healthcare, and nutrition, hindering their ability to break free from this cycle. Without access to quality learning and proper nourishment, these children are denied the chance to reach their full potential, perpetuating intergenerational poverty. According to the World Bank, nearly half of the global population lives on less than $5.50 per day, a staggering reminder of the scale of the challenge we face. Sub-Saharan Africa and South Asia remain the most affected regions, where millions struggle daily to meet basic needs such as food, shelter, and clean water. Yet, even in wealthy nations, rising inequality is evident, with income disparities widening and social mobility stagnating. These statistics underscore the urgency of finding comprehensive solutions that address both immediate needs and long-term systemic issues. By understanding these interconnected challenges, we can begin to craft strategies that tackle poverty at its root. In the next section, we'll explore how visionary approaches, innovative technologies, and reformed policies can pave the way toward universal prosperity. Together, let's imagine a future where every individual has the opportunity to thrive, not just survive. To build a world without poverty, we must reimagine the foundations of our societies and align them with principles that prioritize human well-being and environmental sustainability. Here are 3 core principles that could guide us toward this vision. Universal basic needs. Every individual should have guaranteed access to food, shelter, clean water, and healthcare. Programs like Universal Basic Income, UBI, can ensure everyone meets their basic needs regardless of employment status. UBI addresses the root causes of poverty by providing a safety net for all citizens, enabling them to focus on personal growth, education, or entrepreneurship rather than mere survival. This principle ensures no one is left behind in the pursuit of prosperity. Education for all. Education is the cornerstone of progress. Free, high-quality education must be available to every child, equipping them with the skills needed to thrive in a rapidly changing world. A reformed education system will move beyond producing workers to fostering critical thinkers, innovators, and ethical leaders. By emphasizing creativity, emotional intelligence, and ecological awareness, we prepare future generations to tackle complex global challenges while contributing positively to society. Sustainable development. Economic growth must align with ecological balance. Renewable energy, regenerative agriculture, and circular economies can create jobs while protecting the planet. Transitioning away from exploitative practices to systems that mimic nature, such as permaculture gardens and renewable energy solutions, ensures long-term resilience and abundance. Sustainable development not only eradicates poverty but also restores degraded ecosystems, creating a healthier planet for all. Achieving these principles requires visionary leadership and forward-thinking policies. Leaders of tomorrow must adopt bold agendas that address both immediate needs and long-term sustainability. Below are some examples of what these programs might look like. Green New Deal expansion, extending green initiatives globally to combat climate change while creating millions of sustainable jobs. This program would invest heavily in renewable energy infrastructure, regenerative farming practices, and urban redesigns that prioritize public transportation and green spaces. By integrating economic opportunity with environmental stewardship, the Green New Deal expansion offers a comprehensive solution to 2 of the world's greatest crises: poverty and climate change. Resource redistribution policies, implementing progressive taxation, wealth caps, and corporate accountability measures to redistribute resources more fairly. These policies aim to reduce income inequality by ensuring corporations and the ultra-wealthy contribute their fair share to societal welfare. Additionally, subsidies currently directed toward fossil fuels and large agribusinesses could instead support small-scale farmers, renewable energy projects, and community-led initiatives. Digital governance platforms, leveraging blockchain technology to enhance transparency in government spending and decision-making processes. Blockchain-based systems can track resource allocation, prevent corruption, and give citizens greater visibility into how public funds are used. Such platforms empower communities to participate actively in governance, fostering trust and accountability between governments and the people they serve. These core principles and political programs work together to create a virtuous cycle of prosperity. For instance, universal basic needs ensure everyone has a foundation for success, while education prepares individuals to contribute meaningfully to society. Meanwhile, sustainable development creates opportunities for meaningful employment and innovation within industries that heal rather than harm the planet. Together, these elements form the backbone of a just and equitable society where prosperity is universal. As we envision this ideal world, it becomes clear that eradicating poverty is not merely about redistributing wealth. It's about designing systems that regenerate resources, uplift communities, and honor the interconnectedness of all life. In the next section, we'll explore how technological advancements, such as artificial intelligence and automation, can further accelerate this transition toward universal prosperity. As artificial intelligence, AI, and robotics continue to advance, they will increasingly take over repetitive and labor-intensive tasks across industries. While this shift presents challenges, such as potential job displacement, it also opens up unprecedented opportunities for creating a more equitable and prosperous society. Here's how. Universal Basic Income, UBI. With automation reducing the demand for human labor in traditional roles, UBI becomes an essential safety net to ensure everyone has access to their basic needs. By providing a guaranteed income regardless of employment status, UBI allows individuals to focus on personal growth, education, and community contributions without fear of financial instability. Time for creativity and growth. As mundane tasks are automated, people will have more time to pursue creative endeavors, deepen their skills, and engage in meaningful activities that contribute to societal well-being. This newfound freedom can lead to breakthroughs in art, science, philosophy, and leadership, fostering a culture of innovation and collaboration. Equitable resource distribution. Advanced algorithms powered by AI can revolutionize resource management by optimizing allocation and logistics. These systems can ensure that aid, goods, and services reach those who need them most efficiently, minimizing waste and maximizing impact. From food distribution networks to disaster relief efforts, technology can play a pivotal role in leveling the playing field globally. In the future, robots and AI will handle the bulk of manual labor, freeing humans to focus on higher-value activities. Instead of being tied down by monotonous or dangerous jobs, individuals will have the opportunity to explore careers in fields like education, healthcare, environmental restoration, and cultural development. This transformation will enable everyone, regardless of nationality or background, to meet their basic needs while contributing meaningfully to society. The transition may require retraining programs and lifelong learning initiatives, but it ultimately promises a world where work is less about survival and more about fulfillment. To fully harness the benefits of AI and automation, global cooperation will be crucial. International organizations will provide evidence-based frameworks that encourage states to adopt policies promoting universal prosperity. Rather than imposing rigid regulations, these frameworks will inspire voluntary participation based on mutual benefit. For example, open-source platforms and shared databases could allow resource-poor countries to access cutting-edge technologies at minimal cost, bridging gaps between developed and developing nations. Additionally, collaborative research projects can accelerate advancements in renewable energy, healthcare, and sustainable agriculture, ensuring no one is left behind in the march toward progress. By embracing the transformative power of technology and AI, we can create a world where prosperity is not limited to a privileged few but extended to all. In the next section, we'll delve into how reforming education systems and awakening human consciousness can further amplify these efforts, paving the way for a truly harmonious and abundant future. Today's education systems are fundamentally outdated, designed during an era when the primary goal was to produce workers for industrial economies. These systems prioritize rote memorization and standardized testing over creativity, critical thinking, and ethical reasoning. As a result, they fail to prepare students for the complex challenges of our time: climate change, inequality, and societal fragmentation. Moreover, emotional intelligence, empathy, and a deep understanding of sustainability are often overlooked in favor of narrowly defined academic achievement. This approach not only neglects the holistic development of individuals but also perpetuates a culture focused on material accumulation, having, rather than personal growth and interconnectedness, being. To build a world without poverty, we must reimagine education as a tool for transformation, one that fosters critical thinkers, innovators, and compassionate leaders. A reformed education system will prioritize these key features. Interdisciplinary learning. Combining subjects like science, art, philosophy, and ecology creates well-rounded individuals capable of addressing multifaceted global issues. For example, integrating ecological principles into math lessons or exploring philosophical questions through literature helps students see the interconnectedness of all disciplines. Emphasis on ethics and sustainability. From an early age, children will learn values such as care for Earth, fairness, and resilience. They'll understand their role in preserving natural resources, promoting social justice, and building equitable societies. This foundation will inspire them to act responsibly and thoughtfully throughout their lives. Personalized learning paths, leveraging artificial intelligence, AI. Future education systems will adapt to each student's unique strengths, interests, and pace of learning. Personalized curricula ensure no child is left behind while empowering individuals to pursue passions that align with their talents and aspirations. Leadership development. Leadership isn't just about holding positions of power, it's about making meaningful contributions to society. Future education will encourage leadership skills by teaching problem-solving, collaboration, and empathy. Students will be equipped to navigate uncertainty with confidence and compassion, becoming agents of positive change in their communities and beyond. Beyond academic knowledge, the education of tomorrow will focus on awakening human consciousness. By fostering empathy, mindfulness, and a profound sense of interconnectedness, we can shift from a culture rooted in greed and individualism to one based on compassion and cooperation. Empathy over exploitation. When students understand the impact of their actions on others and the planet, they're more likely to make choices that promote equity and sustainability. Empathy becomes the cornerstone of decision-making, replacing exploitation with mutual respect and understanding. Mindfulness practices. Incorporating mindfulness exercises into daily routines helps students cultivate self-awareness, emotional regulation, and inner peace. These practices empower individuals to respond thoughtfully to life's challenges rather than reacting impulsively. A culture of being versus having. Modern society often equates success with material wealth, creating a mindset obsessed with acquisition. In contrast, future education will emphasize intrinsic fulfillment, encouraging students to value relationships, experiences, and personal growth over possessions. This shift will foster a society where happiness stems from connection and contribution rather than consumption. By nurturing both intellectual and emotional intelligence, future education systems will produce leaders who prioritize long-term benefits over short-term gains. Such individuals will drive innovation, advocate for systemic change, and work collaboratively to solve the world's most pressing problems. Ultimately, this transformation in education will lay the groundwork for a society grounded in empathy, equality, and environmental stewardship, a society where universal prosperity is not only possible but inevitable. As we envision this brighter future, it's clear that reforming education goes hand in hand with technological advancements, sustainable development, and ethical governance. In the next section, we'll explore how revolutionary energy solutions and state investments in renewable technologies can further accelerate the transition toward a world free from poverty. Energy remains one of the biggest drivers of inequality in today's world. Fossil fuels, which currently dominate global energy production, are expensive, polluting, and controlled by monopolistic corporations. This centralized control limits access for billions of people, particularly in developing nations, where electricity is either unavailable or prohibitively costly. The environmental toll of fossil fuels exacerbates the problem, contributing to climate change and further straining already vulnerable communities. However, as we look to the future, revolutionary advancements in renewable energy offer a glimmer of hope, a pathway toward equitable and sustainable energy access. The transition to renewable energy represents not only an environmental imperative but also a powerful tool for eradicating poverty. Here's how this transformation will unfold. Affordable technologies. Innovations such as advanced solar panels, compact wind turbines, and experimental technologies like nuclear fusion promise to make clean energy cheaper and more accessible than ever before. For example, next-generation solar panels with higher efficiency rates and lower manufacturing costs could bring affordable power to remote areas without reliable grid access. Similarly, small-scale wind turbines designed for residential use can empower households to generate their own electricity sustainably. Massive state investments. Governments worldwide will play a critical role in accelerating this transition by allocating significant budgets toward researching and implementing regenerative energy solutions. These investments will focus on two key goals: providing free or near-free electricity to households and drastically reducing costs for businesses and industries. Imagine a future where every home has access to abundant, clean energy at little to no cost, a reality that could transform lives and economies across the globe. Empowering communities. Decentralized energy systems will revolutionize how power is generated and distributed. By enabling local communities to produce their own energy through solar farms, wind cooperatives, or microhydro projects, these systems break dependencies on centralized grids controlled by large corporations. Community-owned energy initiatives foster self-sufficiency, ensuring that profits stay within the community and resources are managed responsibly. Such models have already shown success in places like rural India and sub-Saharan Africa, where decentralized solar programs have brought light to millions of homes previously left in darkness. Access to affordable or even free energy will have profound implications for eradicating poverty. Low-income families struggling to meet basic needs will see immediate relief as they no longer need to allocate scarce resources to pay for electricity. Small businesses, freed from high energy costs, will find it easier to operate and expand, creating jobs and stimulating local economies. In impoverished regions, reliable access to energy can power schools, clinics, and water purification systems, improving education, healthcare, and quality of life. Moreover, renewable energy empowers individuals and communities to take control of their futures. Instead of being dependent on external suppliers or volatile global markets, people can harness the sun, wind, and water around them to meet their energy needs. This shift not only reduces financial burdens but also fosters resilience against economic shocks and climate-related disruptions. By combining innovative technologies, massive state investments, and decentralized approaches, we can create a world where energy is no longer a luxury but a fundamental right. As part of a broader vision for universal prosperity, ensuring equitable access to clean energy will unlock opportunities for growth, development, and empowerment at every level of society. In the next section, we'll explore how sovereign states can work together within a unified framework to address shared challenges while maintaining their independence. Together, let's imagine a future where collaboration and innovation lead us closer to a world without poverty. In the future, states will remain fully sovereign while operating within a unified framework designed to address shared global challenges. This framework won't impose rigid rules or exert pressure but instead inspire action through proven strategies backed by data and research. By working together, nations can tackle issues that transcend borders, such as climate change, migration, and health crises, while preserving their autonomy. The key lies in fostering collaboration rather than competition, ensuring equitable representation for all member states regardless of size or wealth. As part of this vision, countries will prioritize self-sufficiency through sustainable practices like permaculture. Food systems will shift from global dependency to localized production, with each nation focusing on growing what best suits its climate, soil, and resources. Renewable energy initiatives will empower communities to generate power independently, reducing reliance on centralized grids controlled by monopolistic corporations. Sustainable resource management will ensure that natural assets are used responsibly, balancing human needs with ecological integrity. These efforts will not only strengthen national resilience but also reduce vulnerabilities caused by external dependencies. International partnerships will play a vital role in addressing global challenges. Climate change, for example, cannot be solved by one country alone. It requires coordinated action across continents. Similarly, migration flows and public health crises demand cooperative solutions that respect the sovereignty of individual nations while promoting collective well-being. Through evidence-based frameworks, international organizations will facilitate knowledge sharing, fund groundbreaking research, and promote best practices tailored to diverse contexts. These collaborations will enable even the smallest or least resource-rich nations to thrive, leveraging innovative technologies and global support networks to overcome historical disadvantages. The balance between state sovereignty and global alignment is crucial in building a world without poverty. While nations retain full control over their policies and decisions, they will voluntarily adopt guidelines offered by international bodies. These frameworks will focus on mutual benefit, encouraging states to align their goals with global priorities such as environmental sustainability, social equity, and economic justice. For instance, resource-poor nations could access advanced renewable energy technologies developed collaboratively, allowing them to leapfrog traditional industrialization pathways and build modern, sustainable infrastructures. Meanwhile, wealthier nations would contribute expertise, funding, and innovation, recognizing that global prosperity ultimately benefits everyone. This model of cooperation ensures that no country is left behind. Instead of enforcing top-down regulations, the system relies on voluntary participation driven by shared values and measurable outcomes. Evidence-based strategies provide clear direction, empowering leaders to make informed choices that serve both local interests and global objectives. As a result, even historically marginalized regions can achieve self-sufficiency, contributing meaningfully to a more balanced and interconnected world. By embracing sovereignty alongside global alignment, we create space for innovation at the local level while fostering solidarity on a planetary scale. In the next section, we'll explore how cultural shifts toward empathy and mindfulness can further amplify these efforts, creating a society where compassion replaces exploitation and cooperation supersedes competition. Together, let's imagine a future where every nation thrives, not at the expense of others, but in harmony with the earth and humanity as a whole. To achieve universal prosperity, we must fundamentally transform our collective mindset, moving away from a culture of scarcity and toward one of abundance. This shift requires us to recognize that there is indeed enough for everyone, provided resources are managed responsibly and equitably. It also means embracing technologies that reduce waste, promote efficiency, and empower individuals and communities to thrive sustainably. Most importantly, it calls for fostering empathy and collaboration across borders, replacing competition with cooperation as the driving force behind global progress. Recognizing sufficiency, the belief that resources are limited has long fueled exploitation and hoarding, perpetuating cycles of poverty and inequality. However, evidence shows that when managed wisely, Earth's bounty can support all its inhabitants. For instance, regenerative practices in agriculture not only produce enough food but also restore degraded ecosystems, ensuring long-term fertility and resilience. Similarly, renewable energy sources like solar and wind demonstrate that infinite possibilities exist if we harness them thoughtfully. Embracing efficiency through technology, advances in technology offer tools to minimize waste and maximize resource utilization. From precision farming techniques that optimize water usage to circular economy models that repurpose materials, innovation plays a critical role in building abundance. By designing systems that prioritize sustainability over consumption, we can create economies where waste becomes a thing of the past, and every resource serves multiple purposes. Fostering empathy and collaboration, a culture of abundance thrives on interconnectedness and mutual support. Empathy allows us to see beyond national boundaries and understand the shared struggles of humanity. When nations, communities, and individuals collaborate, they unlock solutions far greater than any single entity could achieve alone. This spirit of partnership will be essential as we tackle global challenges like climate change, food insecurity, and economic inequality. Creating a culture of abundance isn't just an abstract concept. It's rooted in practical actions that anyone can take. Below are 3 key strategies that exemplify this transition. Regenerative agriculture. Techniques like permaculture and agroforestry prove that farming doesn't have to deplete the land, it can regenerate it. These methods mimic natural ecosystems, improving soil health, conserving water, and producing nutrient-dense food. Permaculture gardens, for example, integrate plants, animals, and humans into symbiotic relationships, demonstrating how small-scale interventions can lead to large-scale impacts. By adopting these practices globally, we can ensure food security while healing the planet. Circular economies. Traditional linear economies, where goods are produced, used, and discarded, are inherently wasteful. Circular economies flip this model on its head by emphasizing reuse, recycling, and redesign. Products are built to last, materials are repurposed, and obsolescence is eliminated. Such systems minimize environmental impact while creating new opportunities for innovation and entrepreneurship. For example, cooperative ventures that recycle plastic waste into construction materials or upcycle textiles into fashion products showcase how creativity can drive both economic growth and ecological restoration. Community empowerment. At the heart of abundance lies empowered communities. Initiatives such as cooperatives, microfinance programs, and skill-building workshops uplift marginalized groups, enabling them to participate fully in society. Cooperatives, for instance, allow farmers, artisans, and workers to pool resources and share profits, reducing dependency on exploitative markets. Microfinance provides capital to those traditionally excluded from banking systems, empowering them to start businesses or improve livelihoods. Skill-building programs equip individuals with the knowledge needed to adapt to changing circumstances, whether through sustainable agriculture, renewable energy installation, or digital literacy. Together, these steps form the foundation of a culture of abundance. Regenerative agriculture ensures no one goes hungry, circular economies eliminate waste, and community empowerment builds resilience against systemic inequalities. Each strategy reinforces the others, creating a virtuous cycle of sustainability and equity. For example, consider a rural village implementing permaculture principles alongside a cooperative business model. Farmers grow diverse crops using regenerative techniques, reducing reliance on external inputs while increasing yields. They sell surplus produce through their cooperative, generating income that funds education and healthcare initiatives. Meanwhile, waste from crop production is recycled into compost or biofuel, closing loops within the local economy. Over time, this holistic approach transforms the village into a thriving hub of self-sufficiency and prosperity. By integrating these practices into daily life, we move closer to a world where abundance is the norm rather than the exception. In the final section, we'll reflect on the importance of collective action and inspire you to join this movement toward universal prosperity. Together, let's build a future where everyone, not just a privileged few, can flourish. Achieving universal prosperity demands a new breed of leaders, individuals who embody ethics, empathy, and foresight. Ethical leadership is not just about making decisions for the present but ensuring that those choices align with long-term sustainability and equity. Key characteristics of such leaders include transparency in governance. Future leaders must operate with complete openness, allowing citizens to hold them accountable for their actions. Transparent policies foster trust and ensure resources are allocated fairly and efficiently. Commitment to social justice. True progress cannot come at the expense of marginalized communities. Leaders must prioritize social justice by addressing systemic inequalities and empowering disadvantaged groups through inclusive policies and programs. Willingness to listen to diverse voices. A world without poverty requires collaboration across cultures, disciplines, and perspectives. Ethical leaders will actively seek input from diverse stakeholders, recognizing that innovation often arises from collective wisdom rather than individual brilliance. By modeling these principles, leaders can inspire others to work toward common goals while respecting local contexts and traditions. Such leadership ensures that governance serves as a catalyst for positive change rather than a barrier to it. International bodies will play a pivotal role in shaping a world free from poverty. To remain relevant in an increasingly interconnected era, these institutions must evolve to reflect modern realities. Ensuring equitable representation for all member states, regardless of size or wealth, will be paramount. Their primary functions will include facilitating knowledge sharing by connecting experts, researchers, and practitioners worldwide. Global institutions can accelerate the spread of best practices in areas like renewable energy, regenerative agriculture, and circular economies. This collaborative approach empowers nations to learn from one another and adapt solutions to their unique needs. Funding groundbreaking research. Investing in research and development is critical for overcoming humanity's greatest challenges. International organizations can pool resources to fund innovations in fields such as climate science, healthcare, and education, driving breakthroughs that benefit everyone. Promoting best practices. Through guidelines, frameworks, and case studies, global institutions can promote strategies proven to reduce poverty and enhance well-being. These tools will help governments and communities navigate complex issues like migration, climate adaptation, and economic inequality. These roles emphasize partnership over dominance, encouraging voluntary adoption of evidence-based solutions rather than imposing rigid regulations. In doing so, global institutions can empower sovereign states to pursue paths tailored to their circumstances while contributing to shared global objectives. To eradicate poverty at scale, governments and institutions must commit to investing heavily in cutting-edge technologies. Renewable energy, AI-driven automation, and regenerative systems offer transformative potential if properly supported. Here's how these investments can drive sustainable development. Renewable energy. Governments can accelerate the transition to clean energy by funding large-scale projects, subsidizing small-scale initiatives, and incentivizing private sector participation. Advanced solar panels, wind turbines, and experimental technologies like nuclear fusion could provide affordable power to even the most remote regions, reducing energy poverty and stimulating economic growth. AI-driven automation. While automation poses risks to traditional employment models, it also presents opportunities for creating abundance. Investments in AI research can lead to innovations that optimize resource allocation, streamline production processes, and free humans to focus on higher-value activities. Universal Basic Income, UBI, programs funded by automated industries would ensure no one is left behind during this transition. Regenerative systems. From permaculture gardens to circular economies, regenerative systems require substantial upfront investment but yield immense returns in terms of environmental health and social equity. Governments can support these efforts by offering grants, tax incentives, and technical assistance to farmers, businesses, and communities adopting sustainable practices. Such investments will create ripple effects throughout society, fostering resilience, promoting innovation, and building pathways out of poverty. For instance, funding permaculture initiatives could transform barren lands into thriving ecosystems, providing food security and livelihoods for millions. Similarly, advancements in renewable energy could democratize access to electricity, enabling education, healthcare, and entrepreneurship in underserved areas. In conclusion, the role of leaders and institutions extends beyond policymaking. It involves inspiring action, facilitating collaboration, and catalyzing innovation. By prioritizing transparency, inclusivity, and forward-thinking investments, we can build a world where prosperity knows no boundaries. Together, let's envision a future where every person has the opportunity to thrive, not merely survive, in harmony with the planet and each other. In the final section, we'll recap the key ideas discussed and issue a call to action, inviting you to join this movement toward universal prosperity. Let's continue crafting paradise, one step at a time. Imagine a world where every individual has access to the essentials for a dignified life, where no one is denied shelter, food, energy, or education. In this future, communities thrive by prioritizing collective well-being over material accumulation. People work together to create systems that support each other and the planet, fostering harmony rather than competition. The Earth itself becomes healthier, restored through regenerative practices like permaculture and sustainable resource management. Degraded lands are transformed into lush ecosystems, water cycles are rebalanced, and biodiversity flourishes once more. This isn't just a utopia, it's a tangible vision built on principles of equity, sustainability, and cooperation. Access to basics. Every person, regardless of geography or background, enjoys guaranteed access to safe housing, nutritious food, clean energy, and quality education. These foundations empower individuals to pursue their potential without fear of deprivation. Collective well-being. Communities shift focus from individual wealth to shared prosperity. Instead of chasing endless consumption, they celebrate creativity, collaboration, and connection. Local initiatives, cooperatives, and participatory governance models ensure decisions reflect community needs and values. Restored planet. Through regenerative practices, humanity heals its relationship with nature. Techniques like permaculture, reforestation, and circular economies restore degraded ecosystems, conserve resources, and mitigate climate change. The result is a thriving biosphere capable of supporting all forms of life. Transitioning to this ideal future requires deliberate action across multiple fronts. Below are 3 key strategies that will pave the way. Global educational reform. Education lies at the heart of transformation. A reformed global education system will move beyond producing workers to nurturing critical thinkers, innovators, and compassionate leaders. By emphasizing ethics, sustainability, and emotional intelligence, schools prepare students to address complex challenges while fostering empathy and resilience. Lifelong learning programs ensure adults can adapt to changing circumstances, equipping everyone with the tools needed to build a better tomorrow. Massive investments in regenerative technologies. Governments and institutions must channel significant resources into cutting-edge technologies that drive sustainable development. Renewable energy projects, AI-driven automation, and ecological restoration techniques offer solutions to some of humanity's greatest problems. For example, investments in advanced solar panels, wind turbines, and battery storage could provide free or near-free electricity globally. Similarly, funding research into permaculture and agroforestry would enable farmers worldwide to adopt regenerative practices, ensuring food security while restoring soil health. Transparent and community-centric policies. Political systems must evolve to prioritize transparency, inclusivity, and social justice. Policies should be designed with input from diverse stakeholders, reflecting the needs of both present and future generations. Universal Basic Income, UBI, progressive taxation, and corporate accountability measures can redistribute wealth more fairly, reducing inequality. Meanwhile, digital governance platforms leveraging blockchain technology enhance transparency in decision-making processes, ensuring public trust and participation. These strategies reinforce one another, creating a virtuous cycle of positive change. Reformed education systems inspire leaders who advocate for transparent policies and invest in regenerative technologies. Clean energy empowers communities to take control of their futures, while permaculture restores degraded landscapes and supports local economies. Together, these efforts dismantle the structures of poverty and replace them with systems rooted in abundance and equity. As we envision this brighter future, it becomes clear that eradicating poverty is not an insurmountable challenge but a collective responsibility. By working together, as individuals, communities, and nations, we can craft a world where prosperity knows no boundaries. In the final section, let's reflect on the journey ahead and issue a call to action, inviting you to join this movement toward universal well-being. This script ties together the ideas discussed throughout the video, painting a vivid picture of what a world without poverty might look like and outlining actionable steps to achieve it. It emphasizes the interconnectedness of reforming education, investing in innovation, and implementing ethical policies, all within the framework of building a culture of abundance and sustainability. Eliminating poverty is not an insurmountable challenge. It's a matter of rethinking our systems, embracing technology responsibly, reforming education, and fostering global cooperation. By prioritizing universal basic needs such as food, shelter, energy, and education, we lay the foundation for a world where prosperity isn't confined to a privileged few but shared by all. Investments in sustainable technologies, from renewable energy to regenerative agriculture, empower communities to thrive while healing the planet. Reforming education ensures that future generations are equipped with the skills, empathy, and vision needed to tackle complex global challenges. And through ethical leadership and transparent governance, we can create policies that uplift marginalized groups and promote equity. Each of us has a role to play in shaping this brighter future. Support policies that prioritize equality and sustainability. Advocate for transparency in governance and hold leaders accountable for decisions that impact the well-being of humanity and the planet. Engage with local initiatives working toward positive change, whether it's planting trees, starting community gardens, or volunteering at educational programs. Together, we can transform what seems impossible today into an inevitable reality tomorrow. A world without poverty is not just a dream, It's a possibility within reach. Let's commit to building a future where every person, regardless of their circumstances, has the opportunity to thrive. This vision demands collaboration, innovation, and a shift in mindset, from scarcity to abundance, from competition to cooperation, and from exploitation to stewardship. As individuals, communities, and nations, we hold the power to make this vision a reality. Do you believe humanity can achieve universal prosperity? What steps would you take to contribute to this movement? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's continue this important conversation. Your voice matters. If you found this video inspiring and want to explore more ideas about crafting a sustainable and equitable future, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Thank you for joining me on this journey toward creating a better world. Let's keep moving forward together, one step, one idea, and one action at a time. The future isn't something we inherit, it's something we create. So let's roll up our sleeves, plant the seeds of change, and nurture them into a flourishing paradise, for ourselves, for future generations, and for the earth itself. Thank you for being part of this movement. Until next time, stay hopeful, stay engaged, and keep growing.